Hi there, and welcome back to Jay's Toy Collection UK for more action figure news coverage. And we are still at WonderCon 2024 over in California. Yesterday, I was covering the McFarlane toys. So if you want to see that video, it is available on the channel. I will link it down below. But today, we are focusing on all things Hasbro. So Toddy Matt beat Hasbro out yesterday. He was a bit earlier with his panel. So I'd pretty much gone to bed by the time the Hasbro panel was started. Hence, I am covering it today. But please, if you could, in the comments below, leave your thoughts. Hit that like button for me. YouTube loves it when you hit that like button. Please subscribe if you are new to the channel and tickle that notification bell because there is action figure news these days, it seems, breaking all the time. So if you want to stay up to date with my coverage, then hit that notification bell and you can find out when the next video goes up. So firstly, shout out to MCU Collector, who is doing a lot of coverage from WonderCon. He was streaming the whole Hasbro panel. It was great to see so many members of the toy community in his chat, over 1,000 people in the live stream. So it's great to talk toys. So let's get straight into it, shall we? And we will go to a galaxy far, far away, I think, to start things off today. So we're using lots of websites. We're going to start with Yakface, over to TNI, and then I'm going to go over to Toy Arc, and we're going to get finished with Mr. Stevie as well from Hasbro. So 3.75 reveals. Nothing too shocking to start us off. We're going to ease us in gently to the stream today. So, fan channel and Amazon exclusive then for Kanan and Ezra. So, Ezra based on the appearance in the Ahsoka live action, kind of the holograms or the holocron bits. Not an outfit he wore particularly much in actually Ahsoka. And then we've got Kanan, which I'm assuming is the same figure that's coming with the Ghost, just on the regular card. And then we've got a deluxe version of Zeb as well, who will be fan channel only for you vintage collection collectors out there. Probably not particular figures you're going to need if you've got the Ghost, because I'm sure you'll get a lot of those with that. But I'm going to move swiftly past that. That's something I am a little bit more excited by. We've got a bit of Black Series here. We've got some original trilogy Black Series. So we have Hammerhead then from A New Hope, one of the Cantina aliens. How do we pronounce his actual name? Momau Nadan. I have no idea who comes up with the names. I do not know. But here he is then. So we are getting Hammerhead. I thought, again, we kind of figured this was coming, one of those recent exclusive deluxe, I think, to the theme parks they were doing. They had the sculpt. So I thought we knew we'd get sort of Hammerhead here. So there's the best sort of close-up shot we've got from the convention floor. A lot of his photography today will be live from the convention floor. So thank you to everybody out there covering this. Otherwise, we'd have no video to put together. So got to add those original trilogy background alien characters to Black Series, something we desperately need in Black Series. So very happy to actually see Hammerhead here coming to the Black Series. I like his little mouth. What a strange head sculpt they must have come up with way back in 1977, coming up with these designs. But Hammerhead is coming to the Black Series, and I'm sure that is one we're all pretty much excited by. So that was Star Wars. And let's go, moving straight on. Let's go. Yo, Joe. Let's go straight in then to G.I. Joe here. And nothing again too over the top. So we're on TNI and again photos here from MCU Collector in hand on the convention floor. So this was the retro wave that they had mentioned on the previous live stream, but this time we were actually getting to see the figures in hand here on the convention floor. So we have got Beachhead, I think is the one I'm most excited by here, a classic look of Beachhead coming to the G.I. Joe classified line. We've then got updated deco on the Snow Serpent there. So a more vibrant blue on the retro card. And then one that was very hard to come by, the Cobra Eel in all of his diving gear. He was a difficult one to source, so it's good to have a redo. We'll just go through some of the images here then from the convention floor, as I said. Back of the card there with all the file cards on. So again, a much brighter color here on the Snow Serpent. One I might pick up, I'm not sure. I've got one of the other ones, so I don't know if I really want to mix and match the colors. Let me know your thoughts on color variations in the comment below. Would you prefer these were the same as before, or would you prefer this updated sort of deco color? I think I prefer this updated color, but I don't really want to mix and match. So I might have to get rid of the other one and maybe change to this one. I think the deco on the Cobra Ear is pretty much the same as we saw on the previous version. I don't think much has particularly changed on that one. He just is really hard to get hold of. Not a lot mentioned in GI Joe panel. Wasn't their finest of panels. It was a very rushed segment, it felt, at the end, talking about GI Joe there. I think they were running out of time, and Emily was just going through things a bit quickly. So they announced the 3 retro cards coming. Also that the Cobra Ferret, I think, will be going up for order this week as well. So the sort of vehicle, the sort of like 4x4 sort of off-road quad bike vehicle for Cobra to use. But again, we kind of seen that before, so it wasn't new news. So the only real bit of new news you would get for GI Joe here is a tease. So it was a name only reveal. This is the best image I could find online from a quick search, and she mentioned it was Cobra Commander, effectively in his snake form from the 1987 GI Joe movie. So he gets infected, doesn't he, in the whole Cobra La storyline, and he literally sheds his skin and becomes a sort of full-on snake character. So it's an absolutely nuts design. They could go full-on snake, they could go half snake. So this could be quite the exciting figure, I think, coming to Classified, if I've interpreted, of course, what Emily was saying correctly. So do let me know in the comments if I've completely cocked this up. But I think this is the version of Cobra Commander they were hinting that we'd be getting. So that was pretty much it for Joe. We've got a lot to get through, so we'll go literally straight into a very surprising one. Ghostbusters 3.75 O-ring. Anybody know this was coming? I've not heard anything leak out about this. So here we go. O-ring plasma pack of the original 4 Ghostbusters. So in the comments, do you want these? I was kind of intrigued. This was a bit out of the blue. This was quite the surprise, particularly. So these would have probably been better, of course, way back in the mid-80s, rather than coming out in the modern era. But here they are then, O-ring styled. So you've got all the articulation of the classic G.I. Joe figure there, for those that don't know about the O-ring. So the classic G.I. Joe style, but with the Ghostbusters. So I think this might do okay. I might be completely wrong. It might not sell at all. But no Plasma series figures were announced. So I think people were a bit annoyed that there was no more Plasma series coming. But they've gone down to the 3.75 scale. But that does mean, going to the 1/8 scale, they can actually do vehicles and I think potentially playsets. So it would not surprise me in the slightest if we saw like a repaint of the old classic Firehouse playset, but done in the movie deco rather than the kind of the cartoon deco. So, but we have this. We have Ecto 1 then coming in 1/18 scale. So it does look kind of cool. It does look nice. So here are the promotional shots from Hasbro of Ecto 1 then coming. Now, the price point on these, of course, Hasbro's O-rings that they did for G.I. Joe, the modern versions, were very, very overpriced, to be honest, on Hasbro Pulse. I think they were over like £40 for a 2-pack. But the price on this one, it's saying it's going to be $44.99 for a 4-pack. So you're talking just over sort of $11 per figure, which I think that's the fair price, really, for O-ring. I think that's what we should be paying in sort of the 10, 12 sort of price range. So they've priced them well. They've priced them to sell. So I suppose we will see, will they sell? So again, do let me know in the comments. Are you going to be interested in these? For me, no, I'm going to probably just pass on by these, but I do like the potential concept of them. I think there's some closer images actually of the Ecto 1. If I jump over here to Toy Arc, you can see some photos again from the convention floor. So it does look, I do like the vehicle. I do like me a bit of an Ecto 1. I'm not a one for particularly a stickler with scale these days, so I could potentially put this in with my Plasma series. It would be out of scale, but it might look actually just nice in the sort of background of the display, because I've got a sort of Stay Puft Marshmallow Man that I've put in there. I think from Diamond Select, it sort of mixes in between the scales. And that's probably one thing they could do, of course, if they're going down to this O-ring sale. If it does well, are you going to get a massive Stay Puft figure? Are you going to get all the ghosts in this scale? Or is it just literally just going to be another one-off? It does seem Ghostbusters is a very hit or miss line, but we will have to wait and see. So we'll probably see the Paint Masters sort of on here. So again, the likenesses for 3.75 scale in a classic O-ring style, I don't think are too bad at all. So there's just all the main shot of all 4 Ghostbusters. So they're on the way. That was quite the surprise. So that was Ghostbusters. That was G.I. Joe, and that was Star Wars. But the main part of this video is going to be Marvel Legends. So we have a new wave of retro Iron Man cards. So, if you have been a long time viewer of the channel, MCM London last year, I did get to interview Ryan Ting on the convention floor. And one of my questions was about these retro cards. And he kind of pretty much confirmed in that interview we would be seeing the Iron Man retro card again. So that has proved to be true here this year. We're not just getting 1 or 2 figures, we are getting a whole wave of 6. Now, overall, it's quite an exciting wave. However, I've got one thing to say about this. And I said this to Ryan, I said it in person to his face. And I still don't have him, so I'm going to say it again. Where's my Mandarin? Where is my Mandarin? For the love of God, please make a Mandarin. All these years, I was watching this yesterday. I was like, okay, right, wave of 6. I've got a chance here. I have got a chance of the Mandarin. And every figure, I was like, okay, they're going to save it till last. They're going to save it till last. And it didn't happen. It did not happen. But I haven't lost hope yet. I haven't lost faith. I think we've still got a chance at the Mandarin. The fact we've gone 6 figures deep into this retro card, you've got to have the main villain. And when we see some of the other figures here, you'll kind of understand why. So, first thing it came straight into my head is like, okay, we've discussed this before, that I think potentially this year's HasLab could be a Fing Fang Foom. I think so. I think it really could be a Fing Fang Foom. I even may have called on the Legends and Liquor. We could see one of the biggest retro cards of all time. Could they make Fing Fang Foom on the Iron Man retro card? Let's give me like a 3-foot tall retro card, because why not? So are they saving the Mandarin to be the figure to go with Fing Fang Foom? Am I just fantasy booking it? Am I never going to get a Mandarin? Or is he going to be released maybe later on as a standalone rather than part of this wave? So let me know your Mandarin thoughts in the comments below. But let's get into the wave. And we're starting it off with quite a strong one. I think one we knew completely was coming when we saw the Model 1 last year on the Avengers 60th program in the silver. The gold is just a layer, wasn't it? You had to do the gold. And yeah, looks pretty good, to be honest. And they've not just done a straight repaint here, because you will notice his little skirt piece. They have sculpted a new little skirt piece that isn't on the silver version. I'm saying with confidence, I'm sure it's not. I've got that figure. It's not on there. So that must be a new piece. Again, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I'm sure there's a new piece. I sort of sculpted rivets I can see down the line there. So these are on Mr. Stevie's, of course, from Hasbro on his Instagram, because you can see the actual retro card itself and the figure in front. We will go back to some of the full convention footage at the end just to see these figures in person. But gold painted Iron Man, of course, from Avengers #1. Can't go wrong with this one. I think this is a must-have for a Marvel Legends collector. So, yeah, all good, all good. Number 2, that's the wrong pick. Click on the right button, son. It would help. You've got to click on the small one. Right. Iron Man Model 20. Iron Man Model 20. Now, this is very familiar. Bells were ringing for me. I was like, I know this, but I don't know where I know it from. So, shout out to Pixels and Plastic out there, Big Will, because I think he called this one. It showed me images, and I was like, okay, right, okay, I see it now. This is a bit nostalgic. This is a Toy Biz figure, isn't it? This is from the original Marvel Legends line. It might have been sort of wave 8 or so. This is the figure that came with the Ultron base, which I've still got with the sort of flame effect cut out in the middle as he walks through. So this is one of the modern Iron Mans that we had back in the actual Toy Biz days. So I suppose it's not that modern anymore, because it's over 20 years old nearly. So yeah, so for nostalgia reasons alone of collecting that original Marvel line, then yeah, I'll be in for this one. Straight away, I was like, oh, I can probably pass on this one. I don't need all the Iron Man armors, but now I know that. Yeah, okay. I'm in for this one as well. So far, we're 2 for 2 for me on this wave. Well, I'll be picking up the whole wave. I can't fully remember what's in it. So until we get to the end of the video, I can't tell you. But to Model 20 then, nice armor, done in the gold rather than the yellow. I think I prefer my Iron Mans in yellow rather than gold. But here we have it. So Model 20. And again, if you're a Hall of Armor Iron Man person out there, I'm sure one for you to go with your Hall of Armor. Oh, and now this thing. I saw this thing and there was groans. There was groans in the audience. There was groans from me on the sofa. Model 9 then. My God, how many times do we have this figure going all the way back to Epic Heroes, wasn't it? This is one of the shortest Iron Men we'd ever had in the Marvel Legends line. It was absolutely diddy. And they redid it on the retro card, didn't they? On the sort of Avengers classic Toy Biz retro card on the grey card. And now we're doing it again. But I think they did say we've got new boots here. We've got pinned legs. I'm assuming we probably got the same old legs. I'm not sure if that's a new torso. So again, get in the comment section and start telling me which bits are new. But I hope there's enough new on this that it's actually taller, because it was so short. So this is short again. That's going to be 3 times we've done this short. So surely it can't be that short again. So hopefully it is taller. I actually do like this. It's a very clunky design, but it's a classic 90s design. It would go lovely. This one with the Mandarin and the Fing Fang Foom. Go fantastic with those. So, God, I hope they're coming at some point. Is that a new flame effect in his hand? I think that is, I don't recall seeing that. I think that is a new flame effect in his hand. Of course, he's got the classic blasts, probably to plug into the feet that we've seen a million times, but that does look a new shape. I don't recall seeing that one. But again, let me know if I'm wrong. And he looks kind of off yellow there, but on the in-hand images, he does look more yellow, so we'll get to him. And then, somewhere out there, David Evan Smith is having the time of his life, because here is a classic She-Hulk. And she looks good, doesn't she? I think she is the standout figure from this wave. Only thing is, what on earth is she doing on an Iron Man retro card? Some of these figures, I don't know. I don't quite know how we've ended up with She-Hulk and an Iron Man retro card. There was a Hulk card back in the day, wasn't there, from Toy Biz? A little bit later on, there was definitely a Hulk card, so I'm not quite sure what she's doing on a Iron Man card. But for me, I suppose that doesn't matter for me. She's coming off the card and she's going in the display, so the card will be going in the bin. But she does look good. The only criticism I've got here is the kneecaps and the elbows. Seeing the in-hand shots, you can see the plastic is a slightly different shade of green, and that's going to wind me up a little. So that's my only nitpick. Hopefully we can sort that out in productions. The plastics do match, but you can see here that even in the package shot, that green in the knee is a very different shade to the actual figure. But I think Jen looks really, really good here, doesn't she? Who doesn't like a muscly green woman? Look at that hair as well. Fantastic hair sculpt. Great face sculpt. Pinless, of course, as well. So, yeah, definitely excited for this one. So 100% getting me a She-Hulk. Of course, pre-orders going up on April the 3rd, so just a few days away until we get these on April the 3rd. So it's going to be an expensive one. So here we go. Okay, right. Marvel's, well, it even says it on there, Marvel's Whiplash. So, of course, in the 90s animated show, this was Marvel's Backlash, because I'm assuming they couldn't use, I don't know, copyright reasons or whatever. They couldn't use the name Whiplash. They used the name Backlash. But now it has been corrected. So our first Whiplash figure in the history of the actual sort of 6-inch Marvel Legends line. Of course, Whiplash, the villain of Iron Man 2, played by Mickey Rourke, that we don't have in the MCU line. So I ended up having to buy the Hot Toys just so I could have that character covered. But I do like this design. I like the Max design, the crazy green ponytail, and you've got the energy effect whip there. So that's looking really good. So I was very, very excited to see this figure. And when I did, I thought, okay, Whiplash has got to be coming. Everybody in this series, in the animated show of the 90s, works for the Mandarin. We're getting all the villains now. We just need the Mandarin to lead them. So he's got to be coming. I know I'm going on about him, but if you know me, if you've seen his channel before, I've got an obsession with getting a bloody Mandarin. And this Whiplash does look good. Do like this Whiplash. I can see a bit of reuse there from the satchel of the Green Goblin. We've seen that one quite a few times. But it works for the character, doesn't it? So I can't really complain too much about effective reuse. I like the collar. I like the big collar there with the cape. So collared cape, green ponytail that is removable then by the looks of it. So that's unusual. Maybe they had to do it that way to actually fit it on the depth of the retro card, particularly. So there is a Whiplash. And another classic, more Avengers villain, I'd say, more than an Iron Man villain. So again, another one that I'm quite sure should be on an Iron Man retro card. It's Count Nefaria then. So it almost looks like an evil Doctor Strange to me. His design has always looked to. So Count Nefaria, classic Avengers villain. Looking good, doesn't he? Looks like Count Nefaria. Looks to be again on a pinless body. So all good there. Got a couple of interchangeable hands. Nothing more coming with him. And yeah, Count Nefaria. Another good villain. Like to add new villains to the shelf. So that is your wave of 6 then, going up for pre-order on the 3rd of April. So get in the comments and let me know. Are you picking up all 6? Are you in for just the Iron Men? Do you not want the Iron Men? Do you want the other figures? Let me know in the comment section below. But I will jump over to the website here of Toy Ark. and we'll go to the convention floor and just finish the video off by just having a look at some of the in-person shots. Then, so there, well, you can clearly see, as I was saying, looks much more yellow than the images Mr. Seavey was showing there. So I think I do like the yellow. I'm more of a yellow man. So yeah, those boots do look new, as I was saying, bigger, fatter boots, chunkier boots. Hopefully that does give him a bit of height, but I can't really see there because he's bending over. You can see a nice rear shot there of Iron Man himself. There's a front shot. And then we've got the gold. We've got the gold one again from the rear and the gold from the front. Let me go down here. Let's have a... No, okay. Hold on. Go on then. Have a look. She-Hulk from the rear. Got to have a bit of filth on the channel now and then. There's a rear shot of She-Hulk looking very good. There's a bit of a side angle. And actually, there is something down there. That's a good little shot. So we can zoom in there. Not the greatest image, but you can see there is a minuscule Quinjet. So that has obviously been dropped in the display as an Easter egg. So it must have been shrunk because that's not the size of the Quinjet. I guess they're doing a new sort of quarter-inch Marvel Legends line. So it's going to require Mr. Pym. It's going to require Ant-Man to shrink it. So it's got to be a clue to something. So we're going to get another version of Hank Pym in the 6-inch scale. Are we going to get a version of Yellow Jacket? Is it just an accessory for Wasp? Are they going to chuck it in with the HasLab? I don't know. So let me know your thoughts on that. But surely it's Quinjet. Got to be a Quinjet. I've seen the images. It's definitely a Quinjet. So actually, there's a better image for you. There's a better image. You can clear as day. It's an Avengers Quinjet. So why is it small? Is it teasing a HasLab Quinjet's coming? I don't think they'll do a Quinjet. I want a Fing Fang Foom. So I can't. They won't do a Quinjet, will they? Well, will they? We will find out. But there was She-Hulk then. So there's a closer shot of She-Hulk from the front. So again, very nice, vibrant green. It's just that elbow. Look at that bit of plastic down there. It just needs to see if we can get that color corrected. And again on the knees, just to match a little bit better. Or am I being too fussy? You can see the retro card figures behind. So anybody in for set 2? Anybody in for set 2? I might get Whiplash. I might like Whiplash, I think, on my wall there. As we scroll through Toy Arc, anything particularly new, just a Star Wars 3 3/4, and we've seen the Ghostbusters. So let's stick Iron Man on your screen as we wrap it up then, because we've gone over 20 minutes on Hasbro. As I said, we did with McFarlane for DC Multiverse yesterday. That's going to cost me some money. I've already had to backtrack a Catwoman because I'm going to need a tumbler. So I'm going to need a tumbler, and I'm going to need some Iron Man retro figures. I'm going to need Hammerhead, and I want a Beachhead. So as ever, buying too many toys all the time. But I suppose I better end it there. Please do hit that like button on the way out. Again, subscribe if you are new here. But ladies and gentlemen, I've been Jay. This has been Jay's Toy Collection UK with action figure breaking news. I'll see you some point midweek for more figures. And I'll see you next week if you're watching this on the time it went up for WrestleMania. It is all going on in Toyland. I'll see you on the next video.